Now, do you recall in this January 28th interview speaking with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis about this conversation between Thug and Kel at the Cascade skating rink in more detail?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Do you remember in the January 28th interview, Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis about the conversation that Kel and Thug had at the Cascade skating rink?
Yes.
Okay. What do you remember telling Detective Gaither about that phone call?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither in this January 28th interview?
Sure.
It's a prior and consistent statement.
I'll rule the objection. Overrule, sir. Okay. You may answer the question, sir.
Do you recall? I'll ask the question again. Do you recall Thug and Kel speaking while at the Cascade skating rink in 2015?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither about that phone call?
Yes.
Okay. What do you remember telling Detective Gaither about that phone call?
My word for word?
Whatever you remember.
Oh, I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Do you remember first telling Detective Gaither that you and Kel had said that the beef was over? You told Detective Gaither this.
Yes.
All right. Do you recall, again, telling Detective Gaither in this interview that Kel asked you to call Thug?
Yes.
Do you recall what Thug said in 2015 to Kel?
Yes.
Yes, you remember what Thug said?
I don't recall what was said. I don't remember what was said.
Okay.
I don't remember me talking to the investigators about it.
All right. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that when Kel got on the phone, that Thug said the beef ain't over with until you pay for my window? You shot my window.
Yes.
Yes, you remember telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't remember what I done told the police.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Are you just saying yes now to speed up your questioning?
Most definitely.
Okay. Now, do you recall independently that after Thug told Kel, beef ain't over with until you pay for my window, you shot my window, that you told Kel what you told Kel?
Yes.
What do you remember telling Kel?
Yes.
So you told Kel, yes?
Yes.
Do you recall telling Kel, look, what y'all got going on, this has nothing to do with me?
Yes.
Do you recall also that you told Thug that your beef with Kel is over with?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what Thug said to you after you said that?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
What did who say to me?
What did Thug say to you?
When?
While he was on FaceTime at the Cascade skating rink.
Who's on FaceTime at the Cascade skating rink?
Do you remember testifying earlier that you told Detective Thorpe in January 11th that Kel and Thug,
I don't remember what I told the investigator, Detective Thorpe or whatever.
do you remember telling Detective Gaither in this January 28th interview that Thug said, nigga, I don't care about none of it. Look what y'all got going on. You still shot at me. Just pay for my window. You gonna pay for my window. Hey man, I ain't letting that go.
Yes.
Yes, you remember Thug saying that?
Doug say that?
You said yes, so I'm asking you, what do you remember?
Cause I keep telling you, I don't remember. You keep asking me questions, so I'm just saying yes.
Okay, so are you saying yes, that's what you told Detective Gaither?
I know I ain't complete school, but I think I'm speaking proper English. I told you, I don't recall nothing I said to no police. You keep sitting right here asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. I'm tired of it. I'm drained.
Okay. Well, if you would just answer the questions
I
properly.
am answering the question. You asked me, I said yes, yes. You keep when I say yes, you ask me the same question over and over and over and over and over.
But did you just tell the court or this jury that you're saying yes just to move the process along?
I think I said it loud and clear.
So again, will you just answer the questions and we can move the process along?
You keep asking. Okay, yes.
Is that what are you answering yes to?
Your question.
Are you lying when you say yes?
Huh?
Are you lying when you say yes?
Am I lying about what?
Any question that I've asked you so far?
Oral, sir.
I can't be lying because I told you up front that I don't recall.
During the January 28th interview, let me ask you this. Do you remember back in 2015, after Thug and Kel got off the phone, did you speak with Kel anymore about that conversation that he had with Thug?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that Kel asked for you to call Nut so that y'all could talk about what his conversation was with Thug?
I don't recall.
Do you recall whether or not you just told Kel to just pay for the window?
I don't recall having a conversation with Kel. Me and him would never have a conversation together.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither, so you hung up the phone and me and Kel started talking like, man, bro, it's over, bro, just pay for the window?
I don't talk like that.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that Kel's response was, I pay for a window, that nigga tried?
Say that again.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that Kel's response to you was, I pay for a window, that nigga tried me?
I say that. I'm trying to understand who said what.
I'm asking you, do you recall telling Detective Gaither?
Oral, sir.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't recall.
All right. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that you said you told Kel you got a problem with Thug, you don't have a problem with me?
You asking me what now?
I'm asking you, do you remember telling Detective Gaither that in response to what Kel said, you said to Kel, you got a problem with Thug, you don't have a problem with me?
So why am I talking to Kel if that was true? I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall.
Thank you. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither also about the night at Club Crucial when Kel hit you in the back of the head?
I probably did.
Do you recall going in more detail with Detective Gaither about what happened that Monday that Kel punched you in the back of the head?
You say that again?
Sure. Do you remember going in more detail with Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis about that Monday night at Crucial?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're trying so hard to
Do
evade.
you recall telling Detective Gaither about the type of money that you had? You had a whole bunch of hundreds and a whole bunch of 20s.
Probably so.
Do you remember saying that or you don't remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember when they was questioning me. Whatever I said, I don't recall what I said.
Okay.
It was just I can't repeat what I said because I just said what I said.
And what you told them was that the truth about what happened that Monday at Club Crucial?
I told them whatever I said to them is what I told them. So when they asked me questions, whatever I thought I wanted to say, that's what I said.
Was it the truth or were you just making stuff up?
I don't recall what I was telling them, so I can't answer that.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither in a little more detail that you walked up and you tried to dap up Kel, but he did not grab your hand?
I'm not walking up down nobody up.
Do you remember saying to Detective Gaither, so they walked up like, is it good, bro? I'm like, yeah, all good. I reached out the other hand, but he didn't grab my hand.
I don't recall saying it.
Okay. Do you recall seeing an individual named Pokey at Club Crucial on this same night where Kel punched you in the back of the head?
Okay, let me make myself clear, right? Because you keep asking me about things I don't told investigators in the past. I can't say from when to when, but so much was going on. My name was on everything. The police kept coming to grab me. Every time they grabbed me, I had a different story for them. I know 100% facts, and I'm telling you now, I was not truthful. I was saying whatever they wanted me to say. I was saying whatever I could come up with. I was trying my best to convince them that I didn't do nothing, that I'm an innocent person, and that people put their hands on me. When they ask me about any of these things, you sitting here keep asking me step by step by step by step. And I'm telling you now, because you asked me, was I being truthful?
Okay.
I know I wasn't being truthful.
So is your testimony today that you lied in every interview that you did in 2015?
See, you the way you asking that, I don't recall what I was saying in the interviews, but I'm telling you now, when they was questioning me 2015, 14, whenever they was questioning me, I was lying. I was making up stories. So when they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. When they were asking me about this right here, I was making it up. And when they was getting me and they were letting me go, I'm just telling you.
Do you recall telling every detective?
Every time they got me, I have told the police, I tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear, just let me go.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview, you got to believe me, I'm telling y'all the truth? Okay.
That sound like me.
Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you can go fact check what I'm telling you?
Say that again?
Sure. Do you recall telling every detective in every interview that you had in 2015, you can go check what I'm saying so you can believe me?
Probably. I don't know if I said it or I ain't said it.
in some of those interviews, were you in custody? Were you arrested in some of those interviews?
I think so.
Okay. Do you recall telling detectives in those interviews that you're just trying to get out of jail? So I'm going to tell you all what happened so you can check it and I can get out of jail.
Yeah, I told the investigators that I remember, I think in one of the interviews, they was locking me up and my child's birthday was coming up. And when they got me, I said, listen, man, whatever y'all want me to say, I would tell you right now. Just tell me what to say and I would say it. Tell me what y'all want to know and I would tell you. So if they would have asked me about President Trump, I would have had a story about Trump. If they would ask me about you, I would have had a story about you. Whatever to convince them that I ain't do nothing, it wasn't me. That's what my intention was. So you're asking me about interviews, and I keep telling you, you keep asking me step by 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 step. This is what I did. When they got me on this day, and I was going to jail, I try to come up with something to tell them. That's why I can't tell you what I said. I was making it up.
What benefit would it be for you to lie to the police if you were trying not to be in trouble?
I was hoping to convince them so they could let me go.
So why would you lie to convince them?
What you mean? Why would I lie to convince them?
Right. Why would you lie to convince them if you wanted to not go to jail?
Why would I lie to convince them to not go to jail?
Right.
But they don't know that I'm lying.
Well, they didn't let you go immediately, did they?
Sometimes they let me go.
Right. But
So when the time they let me go, I thought I was smarter than them.
did the detective say that they had to fact check what you said before they let you go?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Did the detectives tell you that they had to fact check what you were telling them?
And you know, in some situations.
Right. And so what benefit would it be to lie if they told you that they had to fact check it?
Oh, it was no benefit because what they did was they picked and choose what they wanted to take from me, and they still left me in jail. So they came back and beat me in the butt.
Okay. So going back to my question from January 28th, 2015, did you see Pokey at the club?
You want me to be honest with you? I think I just did. I just told you the God honest truth of what I did from January from 2014 until 2021. Every time they got me, they already know me. They already know I got a whole bunch of bullshit to say.
I'm gonna ask you to refrain from cursing. What harm?
Oh, sorry, everybody. No disrespect. I'm sorry about it. But
Overruled, sir. Overruled, sir.
What harm would have come from telling the truth about you and your friends?
can you explain it?
Sure. What harm? Why would you need to lie if you were just trying to tell them about what you and your friends were doing?
Yeah, he's playing dumb. He's scared with thugs them looking at him. He mad too.
Going back to the January 28th interview, understanding that you said you lied, did you tell
That dude
Detective
stressed
Gaither
out.
that you saw Pokey in Club Crucial on the Monday night where Kel knocked you in the back of the head?
I don't recall what I said.
Do you know who Pokey is?
Yes, I do.
Who is Pokey?
A friend,
Of who?
me.
Okay. Is Pokey related to anyone?
What you mean?
Is Pokey related to Thug?
Is he related to Doug?
Yes, sir.
He may. I can't. He might be.
Have you previously told police that Pokey is Thug's nephew?
Well, if I did, then I guess he is.
Since you're saying that everything is a lie in all of these interviews, in January 28th, did you tell Detective Gaither and Detective Guinness on the same Monday at Crucial that you walked to the kitchen and everyone was looking back and everybody was walking behind you?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Did you tell Detective Gaither on that did you tell Detective Gaither in that January 28th interview that while you were at Club Crucial, that you walked towards the kitchen, you looked back and you saw everybody walking behind you?
I don't recall what I told investigator, detective, whichever one.
Okay. Did you also tell Detective Gaither in that interview that you put your hand in your pocket, you turned around, and you and Kel were face to face?
I don't recall what I told the investigator.
Did you also tell Detective Gaither in that same interview?
Sir, I sustain the objection. You can rephrase that.
Did Kel walk behind you and bust you and hit you in the back of the head, grab you and throw you down?
I'm gonna overrule the objection, Mr. Steele.
Did that occur? Yes or no?
Can you say that again?
Sure. On that Monday night in Club Crucial, did Kel walk behind you, punch you in the back of the head, grab you and throw you down?
No, he walked up to me.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that soon he punched me in the back of the head, grabbed me and threw me down?
No, he walked up to me and hit me in the face.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither what I just asked you?
I don't recall what I told Detective Gaither.
Okay. When he threw you down, do you remember what happened?
I never hit the ground.
What's the basis for your objection, sir? I'll sustain the question.
What happened after he threw you down?
I never touched the ground.
Okay. Did you tell Detective Gaither in the January 28th interview, when he threw me down, he had his hands on me and he started pulling at your zipper?
I don't recall what I told the investigators. But after he hit me in the face, I ducked my head and went through the crowd of them.
At any time, do you remember him grabbing your pockets?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that he grabbed your pocket and he was trying to get in?
Nobody never took that from me.
Okay. I know earlier you said your head swelled up. Do you recall any other part of your body swelling up?
Hey, TV21.
No, I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither, another person hit me and say, boom, my eye swole up?
I don't recall saying that to them, but somebody else did hit me.
Okay. Do you remember about how many people were hitting you?
No.
Yeah, Wood is scared.
Earlier, you said
Hugging
that
him,
you
looking
ran
at
out
him.
of the club. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither, I was really trying to run, but I can't run because they was holding me? They more or less were trying to take your money.
Nah, I never tried to run.
Are you saying now you never tried to run?
No, I just ducked my head and I didn't run, but I just ducked my head and they mainly, after whoever hit me, after they hit me, nobody else didn't touch me.
Okay. Did they ever try to grab your money?
I don't know if somebody tried to intentionally grab my money, but as I'm going through a crowd of people, you know, I was brushing up against people grabbing me and stuff, but not in a way that actually takes something from me that I recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither they were grabbing the money, but they wouldn't get it out the zipper right?
I don't recall what I told investigators.
I agree,
Now,
legit.
earlier, do you recall Bloody J fighting outside?
So when he was telling the police, did he not think he was gonna have to testify?
Nah, I was swole, so I was in the
Why he
parking
even
lot
say something?
trying to get in my car.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that Moonsunk was fighting Bloody J?
I don't recall.
Why he even agreed to say something?
Now, what was your relationship like with Bloody J?
Hey, straight to the point.
What you mean?
Were you cool with him?
Was I cool with him?
Yes.
I don't know how to answer that.
Okay. How would you describe your interactions with Bloody J?
What you mean?
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that you've been trying to help Bloody J get in back with them?
I'm trying to help him with.
Get back in with them.
Oh, I don't know what was taking place. I talked to the investigators. I was trying to tell them whatever I think I can convince them to believe. I
Don't
don't
mess
get in
around.
people's business to be knowing what they be having going on.
He might be on the borderline of perjury.
But I'm good with coming up with a story.
What would talking about Bloody J have to do? Why would that help you get out of?
Because the investigators they just I don't know, like they so focused on me. I'm trying to get them off of me. They need to go focus on somebody else and get their attention off me.
Earlier, do you recall saying that when you went to speak with Detective Thorpe on January 11, 2015, you went down there because Detective Thorpe called you and told you called you, and that's why you went down there? Do you remember saying that earlier today?
I believe after they shot somebody, one of my family members, my baby mama house up, that's when the investigators called me. Because they said that it related to something. I don't know. I can't really remember exactly, but that's when I went down for questioning.
Okay. And did you go there voluntarily?
What they mean?
Did you go there because you wanted to go there yourself?
I went there because people told me to go there.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that everybody's like, nah, wait on them to call you? And I was like, I ain't want to wait. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do it.
I don't recall what I told them.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither? So they were like, just wait. And I'm like, so I'll wait. But I kept asking more people because they had shot up my girl mama house.
Most time I talked to the police, they had to come and get me.
Did they come get you on January 11th?
They didn't have to.
Okay, you drove down there you had Moonsoon take you down there.
Because everybody was telling me to go down there.
Okay. And Moonsoon, didn't you encourage Moonsoon to come and talk to the police too?
Say that again?
Did you encourage Moonsoon?
At this point, it don't really matter because Thug them gonna be mad
I
at
think
him
I remember
still.
telling him that they said, man, you did it. You need to come in here with me.
And do you remember him telling him, nah, I'm gonna wait for them to come to me?
No, I think he told me to give the investigator his number and tell him if they wanted him to call him, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither? I came out here, I got Montung, and I'm like, you don't want to come in and talk to him, bruh? You know your name in it, bruh. And he's like, shit, I'll wait on them to call me.
I know Detective Gaither she got somebody against me. She making her business to try to get me. So anytime that she trying to question me, I'm gonna spin her every chance I get. But I do not recall what I told her when she questioned me, but when she questioned me, I know she trying to get me.
Okay. Is Detective Gaither able to tell you the answers that are coming out of your mouth?
I sustain the question as to form.
Does Detective Gaither know what you think, what you're going to say?
I sustain the question.
In the January 28th interview, let me ask you this before I ask you that. Do you know what the relationship was like between Nut and Thug back in 2015?
No.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither, at least in the January 28th interview, that Nut and Thug was cool?
I don't recall.
Right. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither, on God, I didn't even know.
His objection. I sustain the question. I'll sustain the question.
I think the question was, back in 2015, did you know the relationship between Nut and Thug?
It's still subject to foundation. I'm staying.
But now I'm impeaching him on what he told detectives about his knowledge of the relationship.
I sustained the question before. You still need to lay some foundation as to how they knew each other in that particular time period, okay? That was the basis of Mr. Steele's objection.
Back in 2015, were you familiar with Nut?
Yes.
And were you familiar with Thug?
Well, what do familiar mean?
Well, you just answered that you were familiar with Nut, so
No.
I sustain the question.
When I just asked you, were you familiar with Nut, and you said yes. Why did you say yes?
Because people have different definition of words, things, and I knew of Nut.
Okay.
If that's the same, then I guess.
Did you spend more time with Nut or with Thug back in 2015?
I spent more time with Thug. I didn't hang around Nut.
Did Thug ever speak with you about his relationship with Nut?
No.
Did you ever observe Thug and Nut together?
I never saw those two together. I never been around those two together. No, it never crossed my mind.
So how were you able to tell Detective Gaither that Nut and Thug was cool?
Because they're questioning me and I'm trying to get them off of me. And she asked me questions about Nut and Thug, I guess. And I'm telling her whatever she asked me, let's say she asked me a question about the sky. I'm gonna say, yeah, I seen the sky. It's blue. Whatever she asked me, I'm gonna agree to that. I'm gonna say whatever she asked me. If she asked me about this reporter right here, I'm gonna say, yep, she's sitting outside me with white tennis shoes on. I'm gonna say something. Just because I want her to believe I'm telling the truth. That I want her to get me out of jail.
What, she has on white tennis shoes, don't she?
Don't you got on white tennis shoes? She got on Chucks.
Right, and they white, right?
What color your shoe is? Okay. She got on Chucks.
So you telling the truth.
What color your shoes is? She said they white.
Right, so you're telling the truth then.
Well, it depends. See, you pick what you want to tell them.
So did you also tell Gaither in another interview that Nut and Thug had problems?
Can you say it again?
Did you also tell Gaither in another interview that Nut and Thug had problems?
See, you saying it right there and there.
So my question for you is, how did you know about any relationship between Nut and Thug?
I didn't.
Earlier, I asked you about the time you spent in Miami. I mean, you recalled you didn't remember. Do you recall the time that you spent about a week in Miami?
I don't recall what I told whoever you just said.
I think Woody has decided he'll just gonna take the perjury and go because he's scared of Thug and them looking at him. He should never cooperated if he knew he was gonna get up there and freeze, because he gonna get some more charges.
Now, when you came back from Miami, did you have any concern about Thug and you and y'all relationship?
What you mean?
Did you have any concerns about Thug and you and your relationship?
You asking me?
I am.
Did I have any concern?
Yes.
I just left with Young Thug?
Yes.
And what my concern was?
I'm asking you if you had any.
If I just left with him, why would I have any?
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither, so we came back and it was like Thug was trying to get rid of me? You feel what I'm saying?
Had to switch it up.
You had to switch it up.
I had to switch it up
Why did you have to switch it up?
because they kept targeting me.
Who is the they?
Investigator Gaither and Dennis.
Why did you have to switch it up to say that Thug was trying to get rid of you? What would that?
Oh, I don't know what I don't. No. Oh, let's go back.
Okay.
Now I said that he was trying to get rid of me.
Yes.
That's what I told her.
Yeah.
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay, you don't recall that. Do you remember any conversations between you and Thug regarding having a hit on your head?
You said, do I remember having a conversation with Doug about somebody having heat on my head?
Yes.
No, I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that Thug called you and said, bruh, they said I got a hit on your head? And you were like, bruh, you do? And he was like, nigga. And then y'all started laughing.
Oh, you saying that I said Doug had hit out on my head? That's what I'm trying to,
Yes, do you recall?
I thought you were saying that me and him having a conversation and you saying someone else said he had someone else have a hit on my head?
God bless you.
Are you saying that young Thug had a hit on my head?
I'm saying, do you recall having a conversation with Thug in which you discussed having a hit on your head? Was my initial question.
Can you ask me that one more time?
Sure. Independently, do you recall back in 2015 having a conversation with Thug about having a hit on your head?
So it was a conversation. I'm trying to make sure I understand you. It was a conversation I was having with him.
Yes.
And I told him that he had a hit on my head.
Just generally.
I'm trying to see, am I understanding you right?
Right, I'm asking you. I'm clarifying. Do you recall generally just having a conversation with Thug about having a hit on your head? Just generally.
So you saying I'm trying to, I don't understand you.
Sure.
You saying I'm talking to him, me and him talking, I'm telling him that he has a hit on my head.
No.
That's what I'm trying to see what you're saying.
I'm asking you, do you remember just being on the phone with Thug and having a conversation about a hit on your head?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. I don't recall. I don't know.
All right. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that you and Thug were on the phone and Thug said to you, bruh, they say I got a hit on your head? Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And do you recall telling Detective Gaither in response to that, you said, you do? And then he responded, nigga, and then y'all started laughing.
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall Thug telling you about any concerns that his family had with hanging around you?
I don't think I said family, but I do remember people was coming to me, telling me things.
Telling you things about what?
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that Thug told you that they're saying on the street that you and Thug had beef?
No, I don't recall that.
Okay. And then you said you told Thug, man, I haven't heard anything like that.
I think I just told you that right now.
Okay. Do you recall Detective Gaither asking you why would people think that he had a hit on you?
I don't remember what I told the investigators.
Do you remember telling Detective Gaither, like I told you, because everybody in the street saying I did it, and if they kill me, everybody, it's going to go away. Do you remember telling her that?
I remember that. I remember people coming to me, telling me things that was making me think people was telling me stuff that were trying to people was getting in my head and making me believe things. And I started being paranoid, thinking stuff.
When you were in Miami with what was his demeanor like towards you? How did he act around you?
What you mean? I was with my baby mom.
Were you ever around him in Miami?
Like, I was there, but we wasn't like, I had to deal with my baby mama and my little girl.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither in this January 28th interview, like at first, like we was just chilling, like he was treating me like a brother. But even when I went to Miami, he stood back and stuff, but just like he wasn't happy with me around no more. It felt different.
Again, you bringing up conversation I don't told the investigators, but I know they trying to get me. So again, because I wasn't clear the first time, obviously. When investigator Gaither was after me, my whole intentions was to get them off of me.
You said that Detective Gaither was after you. Was Detective Gaither the investigator that investigated when you, your baby mother, and your child were shot?
I don't know who was the investigator.
Did you speak with her about that incident when you, your child's mother, and your baby were shot?
When she, anytime I spoke with her, I think she asked me about everything, like this whole thing. So I don't know what I don't told her, what I ain't told her.
Do you recall her telling you that she was the investigator that was going to investigate the incident with you, your child's mother, and your child being shot at?
How old is that? Objection.
What I recall is, I don't know if it was Investigator Gaither, but at one point they was questioning me and they was telling me, do I remember seeing this person right here? As in, they was telling me this was the person that shot at me. So once I heard them bring up a person name, I started saying this must have been shot at me. So
we're going to get to that interview, but I'm asking you a question.
Let's find out. Were you finished with your answer, Mr. Copeland? Or just something else you want to say?
Yeah. So when they was questioning me, and they was like, did you see Tay in the car? I didn't know why they brought his name up, but for them to ask me, did I specifically see Tay? Tay knew I stayed at, so I felt that Gaither was letting me know it was Tay who came to my house. So when she said that, I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, but that's not my question. Was she the one who investigated you?
I just remember when she was questioning me about me and my child being shot at, she brought up a person name to me and kept asking me about it. And she brought up two other names, but I didn't know them people to hang together. So I really didn't, I brushed the other two names out. And then later they found out that those was the people involved.
Do you remember, and we're going to actually get to that interview.
So they already tried to kill him before?
Do you remember in that interview, actually, you not wanting to tell Detective Gaither who shot you because you were afraid of being put in the paperwork and snitching? Do you recall that?
I recall this, and this is the God and the truth. I told those investigators that I did not see nobody's face. They constantly kept asking, you gonna let dudes shoot at you while you got your kid? Listen, man, it ain't about being afraid of being paperwork or nothing. You feel me? Like, it's not.
Do you recall telling the police that you did not want to be in the paperwork?
I probably did. Who like? But if I had to be in paperwork, I'm still gonna be the same person.
Let's get back to the January
Did
28th
Thug and them
interview.
try to shoot at him before?
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that even when you were in Miami, he stood back and stuff? It looks like he wasn't happy with you anymore. It just felt different.
Can you tell me what you? Because you asked me about interviews. A lot of stuff started changing. You got to be more specific because at one point
They probably already threatened him.
the police were targeting me so much
He got a call.
that I was turning against everybody. I was thinking everybody was out to get me. So when the investigators started asking me questions, whoever they started asking me questions was, they started becoming a problem with me because I started thinking everybody was out to me. So I can't tell you what I said to Investigator Gaither, Dennis, or any other investigator that questioned me.
I think they've already caught him and threatened him.
That I was in a messed up state of mind, and you asked me about questions that I was supposed to be asked back then. That if I say something, you're gonna say, "Oh, I might impeach him," or whatever the word is you use. When I don't know, I can't answer that.
He said impeach.
Independently, did you feel different around Thug while you were in Miami?
Did I? I wouldn't ever stay down there a week with him.
I'm asking you.
I don't recall. I don't recall how it was being down in Miami.
All right.
Hey, Kenny.
During that interview, do you recall giving Investigator Gaither Moonsong's phone number?
Is it?
That's the question.
It's my is that the
After the shooting on the highway.
I remember Moontoon told me that if they wanted to question him about what happened, that it was okay to get on his number and they can call him.
Do you remember his phone number back then?
No, I don't even remember my phone number right. And did I have them?
Okay. Do you recall giving the phone number 404?
Sir, do you have objection?
You told us to give the last four numbers.
That's fine.
Okay, all right.
Was it 893? Do you recall giving the number 8935?
I don't recall.
Yeah, he got a call. And Thug and them sitting there looking at him too. So is he out on bond or something? Because it don't look like he got on no dress out clothes. Do I think Thug going to jail? Probably. He probably won't get as much time as they want to give him, but I don't know. At first I was sure he was gonna go. I don't know though. His lawyers have came and conquered. They did what they were supposed to do. They've been after him for years. He is an informant.
Now, during that interview, do you recall, excuse me, did you, after this was happening, after Nutt's murder and your home and your family's home being shot up, did you have someone purchase a gun for you?
I had someone purchase a gun for me after the homicide investigator said that I had the rights to defend myself.
And was that after your car had been shot at on the highway?
No, I think it was Investigator Thorpe who told me that. So I don't know when he told me that, but he told me that at one point.
And did you purchase that gun yourself or someone else purchased it for you?
Well, someone else purchased it.
Who?
Lady.
Let's stay in the question.
Did little D in this, is this a little D from Cleveland?
Let's I'm gonna hold off on the ruling on the objection till she poses the question.
Just, is this the little D from Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he purchase guns for anyone else that you are aware of?
How I supposed to know?
I asked that.
Well, actually, he didn't purchase a gun for me. He had one and I bought it from him.
Okay. Do you recall to tell Detective Gaither that he purchased the gun for you from Arrowhead Pawn Shop?
That's what he said he got it from.
Okay. But it was for you. Do you recall that?
I bought it from him.
Okay. Now, in the shooting on the highway, do you recall who was shooting at you?
I don't.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that it was Greedy who was driving one of the cars?
No. They were doing 100 miles per hour. How you gonna see somebody?
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither it was two cars, the second car, and Greedy was in the first car?
No, I don't recall.
Okay. And she confirms, Dennis confirmed, so it was Greedy, and your response was, yeah, Greedy was driving.
Oh, no. I probably just said it just because I remember the drive-by. They were going too fast to be trying to do anything.
Why would you say it was Greedy?
I don't have a clue. This is my first time hearing this. I don't recall what I said in them interviews. I told you once they would question me, they could have brought up anybody's name and tell me what I gotta say about it. I'm gonna have something to say.
Do you recall telling that little D has seen him in the car?
Huh?
That little D has seen Greedy driving the car.
We didn't have no conversation about this. I told you it was a turn the radio down and try to see that head. By the time I realized what was going on, the car was all the way in front of us. I didn't notice until the second car, it shot the window. When it shot the window, I was like, what the hell? And I don't know if I told the investigator this, but I thought the car that was behind me was the car that set me up. So I don't know what you're getting at with talking about what I told the investigators.
Who was in the car behind that you thought set you up?
Boo?
Why would you think Boo was going to set you up?
Because I was paranoid.
Why would Boo want to set you up?
I don't know. I said that's what I thought. How if it's a car behind me, how am I getting shot at? I didn't know if they got shot at. I didn't know what would happen. I just knew I was paranoid.
He paranoid now too. Now y'all do know that if he told on thugging them, because he felt like they were trying to kill him.
Did I go with him to the pawn shop?
Yeah.
I can't recall.
But when people start telling, it don't be their first time.
Dennis, I can show you the gun I got, the same gun I had when I went right to the pawn shop. My buddy bought it in his name and went right back home. You tell Detective Gaither that.
I probably did. I'm trying to convince them.
And earlier when you talked about Boo being in the car with you, is that the big Boo, the picture we saw a few days ago?
Big Boo wasn't in no car with me.
Who's Boo?
I said he wasn't in no car with me.
In the car behind you, when you said it was
Yes.
Boo in the car behind you. Portion of it, sure. Now, at the club, excuse me. And
Be quiet.
crucial, that Monday night, do you recall who you went to the club with?
I go every Monday night.
That specific Monday night where you and Kel got into it. Do you recall who you went to the club with that night?
I don't recall who I was with.
Okay. Do you recall if Doug was at the club?
Tonight the night I got into it with him.
Yes.
I can't recall if he was. Or was it?
What about Nard?
Which one?
How many do you know?
More than 3?
Were any of the Nards there at the night?
No, not that I recall. I don't. Yeah.
What about Yak? Was he present at the club?
Yeah, I think Yet was there that night.
Was Shannon there?
Was he? I can't recall if he was.
Was Little D from Mechanicsville there?
I can't recall who that in night because I've been up there so many Mondays and I'd be lying if I say somebody was there or somebody wasn't there. I don't remember who was there that night about anybody.
And my last question, what about Little D from Cleveland?
I can't recall.
He don't want to go to jail and he don't want to talk. All he got to do, you're right. He do better just refusing and taking his time, but he don't want to do no time.
Did you go and speak with police?
They've called and threatened him.
What I just asked you about, which is the shooting between you, your child's mother, and your child being shot at.
Can you know what you say? What about it?
Did you speak with police regarding that incident?
They came and spoke to me.
Okay. Do you recall what happened the day that you, your child, and your child's mother was shot at?
Yeah.
If you can tell the jury what happened.
My daughter, she was crying. She went and stopped crying. So we take her to the hospital. We came out the door. I seen the car, seen it at the stop sign. I had a gun. The car, they came my way. I stood in the middle of the street. They rolled up on the side of me. They let the window down and they tried to shoot me.
And were they able to fire off any shots?
I believe so.
Where was your baby at when they fired off those shots?
I don't know if she was in my hand or if I put in. I can't remember if I put in. It happened so fast. I can't remember if I put it in a car or if I had it in my hand.
And after they started shooting, what, if anything, did you do?
I told my baby mama to get down.
And what did you do?
What you mean?
When they shot at you, your baby, and your girlfriend, what did you do?
I got them up off of us.
And how did you get them up off of you?
I shot back.
Okay. And what happened when they shot back? When you shot back?
I kept shooting.
Okay. And what happened?
I made them crash.
All right. How far away did they crash from your house?
Stop.
Not far.
Was it about the distance that we are, or was
No,
it further?
farther.
Was it back to the end of the courtroom?
Probably so.
Okay. Once they crashed, what happened?
I grabbed my baby and my baby mom and I ran them back in the house.
And were y'all able to make it inside the house? Did you go back inside your house, or did you go to the neighbor's house?
Well, she left her purse in the car.
Okay.
Well, she left the keys. We couldn't get in the door, so the neighbors let us in.
And once they crashed, did they ever try to shoot at you all anymore?
I started shooting again.
And what happened?
I kept shooting.
Did they eventually leave?
They had no choice.
All right. Did you have to talk to the police about that incident with you, your child, and your child's mother?
Yeah, the police caught me before I could leave.
And did you go down and tell them everything that you just told the jury about what happened?
No.
What didn't you tell the police?
No, I think I did. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I told them, but I told them the car pulled on the side of me and tried to shoot me. I think I didn't tell them that. I think I told them somebody else shot back.
Do you recall something that you shot back?
Yeah, I remember. Cause I remember the other one told me. He asked me, did I shoot? He asked me something. I lied and said somebody else was shooting. And then when Gathering came, I knew that she was going. I couldn't come up with the name that I said was shooting back was a name that Gathering knew I was going. She knew I was lying about it. So when she came, I went ahead and admitted that it was me who was shooting because I knew that I couldn't lie on I couldn't put it on the name that I tried to say.
Do you recall being interviewed about this shooting twice, like back to back?
Can you repeat it?
Sure. Do you remember being interviewed about this shooting with you, I would just say Deshaun, and your daughter twice? One day you were not in custody, and the other day you were in custody. Do you remember that?
So when they let me go, they wanted the gun. I told them I'd give them the gun once they let me go. And they went for it. They let me go. And 24 hours later, they had the whole SWAT team at my house, my brother's house.
Did you ever give them the gun that you used?
No.
Okay. Why not?
What I look like.
Whose gun was it?
Clearly mine.
Do you recall telling detectives that it wasn't your gun?
I probably did.
Do you know whose gun you said it was?
I can't recall.
Do you recall telling that it was Shannon's?
No, I don't recall what I told him.
Now, the first time that you went in to go talk about this incident, do you remember speaking with a Detective Curry?
There's so many different polices. I don't know. All the names I know is Thorpe, Gaither, and Dennis. And
yeah, Woody was holding it down for his baby mama and that baby.
I don't know the other people names.
He was gonna kill them, or they was gonna kill him, but he was gonna keep them away from that woman and that baby.
Thorpe, Gaither, Dennis, or was it somebody else?
With me and my daughter?
Yes.
Well, when I came out the neighbor house to try to get the door key, I looked over, I ain't see no police. When I walked out the door, the SWAT team was already right there. And when they got me right there, it was some investigator right there talking to me. But when he looked and seen who I was, he called somebody. Then they went to jumping out the sky, coming out the bushes, every which way. They questioned me right there. I don't know who it was they questioned me.
After speaking with individuals at your home, do you recall coming down to Atlanta Police Headquarters and speaking with the detective?
I don't know his name. I don't know who. The person that questioned me, he wasn't Gaither, so he went for what I told him.
Okay. And what I'm asking you is, do you remember speaking to that detective down at headquarters at Atlanta Police Department?
I remember speaking with him, but I don't really I can't say for sure what I said to him. I know he kept saying he wanted a gun, and I kept telling him if he let me go, I go get it.
When you had the interview, when you met with that detective, did you meet with, was it you and Deshaun at that interview?
Can you repeat it?
When you went down to that interview, was it you and Deshaun? Did y'all both go to that interview?
Yeah, I made them let her, because why y'all want to question me if it was both of us? Y'all, and I told him, y'all gonna lock me up, just gonna lock me up. But, and he was like, no, we not locking you up. So I'm like, well, why she can't come if she was a victim too? So he's like, well, she can come.
All right. And did the both of you speak with that detective?
I don't think she spoke with him, but because she didn't see nothing.
As long as you show that to the defense counsel first.
Yeah, it is. It's a shame you have to testify afraid. This is one of the reasons why people don't like to cooperate. I mean, because if you're going to tell the police something, you know, and then you have to go get on the stand in front of everybody and repeat it. I mean, shoot, that's anxiety. Then instead that boy eyes red, he look like he about to have a damn heart attack. They already been trying to kill him. And probably been threatening him. Might have threatened his baby's mother. Nobody in his hood would ever trust him again, ever. But Thug and them had been trying to kill him for some reason. Did they already suspect that he was telling something? Woody crazy. Look at his face. He could look like he got about 3 or 4 different personalities. Look at how many faces he made.
Now, Coach Ryan.
You may, madam.
I'm showing you what's been marked as Thanksgiving 378, Yankee Charlie 1. Do you see yourself in that exhibit?
Yeah,
Do you also see Deshaun in that exhibit?
yeah,
And you also see the detective in that exhibit?
yeah.
Your Honor, excuse me, this time say like 10 or 6 is in the 378, Yankee Charlie 1. Exactly.
Any objection to states 378 Yankee Charlie 1? All right, it's admitted and may be published as you see fit.
They get ready to bring out the confession.
Mr. Copeland, is that you in the corner with the white hat on?
Yep,
And is that Deshaun sitting next to you?
yep.
And is that the investigator who conducted it?
I guess so.
Now, Mr. Copeland, a few moments ago, he said that he wasn't Gator, so he went for what I told him. What did you mean by that?
He wanted the gun.
Okay, so why would you say that he wasn't Gator, so he went for what I told him?
Because I know Gator know, she know me.
Okay, and when you say she knows you, what does that mean?
She know I'm about to bullshit her.
She knows me, and again, watch your language.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
And it's an adult forum. He can say what he wishes to at this point. What was your answer, sir?
She know I'm about to play around.
All right.
Okay. Now, during the course of this interview, early did you say that you told him it was somebody else, or did you tell him it was you who actually did the shooting?
When they caught me at the house, I was trying to sneak back out to the car and get the door key. So when the SWAT team seen me, and then he wouldn't let me go back and let them know that they had me. So I had to stay right there. So when the police started coming out the bushes and stuff, they questioned me right then and there. So I told the man who walked up on me, I said there was somebody named Tayshun.
Okay. That was when you were still at
The house.
But when you got to the police department, did you tell him?
Before I got to the police department, I think Gaither had pulled up at the house. I think somebody pulled up at the house that knew who I was. And they kept saying, Tay who? And I couldn't come up with no Tay that they didn't know. Okay. I wasn't going to lie on nobody. Like, I wasn't trying to lie on nobody and get them locked up at that time. So I'm just like, I can't lie on this nigga right now. So I went ahead and said it was me shooting.
Okay. And after this interview, were you ever arrested for shooting at the car?
Yeah, I most definitely was arrested the next day.
No. Were you arrested for a probation violation?
I was false arrested. They locked me up for not doing community service when I never had community service to do. Y'all held me in jail for 3 weeks for no reason.
And that was
because I didn't get a police that gun. That's what y'all did to me.
Okay, but were you arrested for the probation of not doing community service?
My probation officer told me she didn't put a warrant out on me and told me there was something that had nothing to do with her. She couldn't speak on it. So I don't know. I felt I went to jail for trying to protect me and my family.
All right. Did you ever have to plead guilty for aggravated assault for shooting at the car?
No.
Okay.
Ms. Hilton, can I get you and maybe a representative too?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the natural stopping point for today, and we're going to go ahead and recess you all until tomorrow. Remember that this Friday, I have other unrelated business in the morning, so you won't need to report tomorrow until 12:30, and then we'll start up somewhere around 1 o'clock, and then we'll work until somewhere between 4 and 5 o'clock, okay? All right. Mr. Copeland, we'll see you tomorrow at 12:30, okay? All right, thank you.
Look how the judge looked at him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, jury, any ministerial inquiry of me at this point? Okay, all right. Let's go through your nightly admonitions, and then we'll reach out here, okay? Remember to leave your notepads in the basket. Do not take them home with you or any other place. Remember, as you are seated back there in your headquarters or jury deliberation room, as you go to come here in the mornings or leave in the evenings, or as you take comfort breaks and lunch and other places where you're together as a corporate body, or even if you're in ones and twos, remember that you are not to discuss this case in any way amongst yourselves. All right. Remember, you cannot recap, review, handicap, or otherwise consider or weigh the testimony of any of the witnesses thus far, or begin any such thing that might be considered your deliberative process. Remember, you can only do that when the court properly instructs you on how to do that at the appropriate time. this matter. Okay. Remember as well, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot seek any advice from any third parties or third party sites, like for example, any reference materials, Google, any other reference sites that you may think may aid you in your understanding of what you've heard so far. Remember, you can only consider what's been lawfully presented to you within the four walls of this courtroom during the trial of this matter, and you cannot consider any outside sources. Those include any recaps or any other testimony or any other commentary about this trial or anything such as that. That would be you would be forbidden from listening to that. You can only consider what's been presented in this courtroom. Remember that if any third party should try and reach you by any means, manner of communication, that your duty and responsibility would be to let myself and Sergeant Ingram know immediately. All right. And then remember, ladies and gentlemen, I told you as well that you've heard a number of scenes or you've seen maps of maybe that may depict different things. You cannot go by any of those places. You cannot do any sketches. You cannot take any pictures, and you cannot share any outside information you may or may not know about any of those places with anyone. Remember, you can only consider what's been presented to you lawfully in the four walls of this courtroom. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience, and thank you for your attention that you've given and will continue to give to this matter. And unless you have any other ministerial inquiry of me, 12:30 tomorrow, and we'll get started by 1 o'clock, okay? All right. All rise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Our jury has left us, and Mr. Copeland has left us as well. All right. Any ministerial inquiry of me before tomorrow morning at 12:30.
Antico said he'll cross the street.
All right. Hearing none. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you tomorrow at 12:30, okay? All right. We're in recess.
Yeah, you could tell Woody is a star. He said when they pulled up to try to shoot him, he stood out in the street. So I tell you, anybody else would have been running. Yeah, Woody is a stone cold dude. He is. But you could tell Woody is stressed out. Woody is stressed because Woody is stressed. And it could be because he's gotten some phone calls. Just looking at him, his eyes are red. Thug and them are sitting in the courtroom watching him. But it seems like to me that he may have told on them, because was it Thug and Thug's crew that was trying to take him out before? Was it Thugger and them that was trying to kill him, that was shooting at him before? That may be the reason he told on them. So they had for some reason, if that was them, they was already trying to kill him before all of this stuff happened, right? For real, never see anything like this in court. How is he going to feed his family after this is out? Right. Nobody is going to ever want to trust him. Nobody's going to trust him. Nobody is going to trust him. He's put on such a show, he can't move to another state. Everybody going to remember him. Hell, I would remember his face if I saw him around the Memphis area. I would be running out straight to the wine after that. His eyes and stuff, he'd be so stressed out. It looks like I hope he don't have a heart attack up there. But can you also, do y'all think that they've been threatening him? Because he's being evasive. It seemed like to me, he said thugging them, but he said he was just telling them anything. Didn't want nothing to do with him. But Woody's so crazy. Woody was probably their hitman. Woody did snitch. I don't understand why he trusted the police. He's a career criminal and believed the police when they told him nobody would find out. Yeah, I think that's why he's so frustrated. When he said to her, "You keep mentioning all the stuff I told the police." This is one of the reasons why, you're right, Kim. This is one of the reasons why people don't like to tell the police anything, because now you got to be called to court. I mean, so what, they keep it quiet just until they tie their case up, and then now your life is on the line because you're gonna be called to court. See, that's why I tell everybody, just call Crime Stoppers. It's anonymous. Okay, call Crime Stoppers and get your money, and change your voice and give them the tips and get your tip number, and they never know who you are, and don't be a damn witness if you're afraid. If you give them the information, they'll go investigate it and come up with it. What they need, they're going have to move out of Atlanta. Yeah, they're going to have to move out of Atlanta. He unalive Big Nut is YFN Lucci manager. Lucci gets out next month. YFN Lucci. Now, who is YFN Lucci with? Y'all know I don't know these people. Is YFN Lucci, is he a part of YSL? So Lucci is into it with Thug. Because just from what he told the police, YFN is a different label. Oh, okay, I see. So did y'all think Thug and them had him to kill the YFN guy that was a manager? Oh, Thug shot at Lucci's mother. Oh my God. So what Woody was doing was carrying out what Thug and them wanted him to carry out. They went sliding and Nut was killed. Oh wow. He was frustrated. Let me pull up what we missed. They got a little short clip. He got frustrated this morning. Yeah, he got a little frustrated this morning. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for a live television service.
I really Detective Thorpe dead.
Tell Detective Thorpe that on the Sunday at Cascade Skating Ring, that you got Thug on FaceTime so Kel and Thug could speak. Yes or no?
If Detective Thorpe said I told him that, I told him that.
Okay. Do you remember that happening?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember. Me and Shea Kelly ain't gonna talk.
All right. And then, do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, so him and Thug talked, and whatever was said with that, I don't know.
I probably told Detective Thorpe that.
Yeah, this is from
And
this
again, that was in
morning.
the January 11, 2015 interview.
I guess.
Now, did you also tell Detective Thorpe about a shooting that occurred at a gambling house in Lakewood?
If that's what he said,
Do you recall a shooting at the gambling house in Lakewood? Do you recall a shooting at a gambling house in Lakewood?
no,
You do not?
I don't.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in that same January 11, 2015 interview that there was a shooting over in Lakewood and that it was Kel, he was standing on top of a roof and shooting inside?
I probably did.
I need to know, do you remember telling him that or you don't remember telling him that?
When Detective Thorpe questioned me about what happened, I thought I was in there about 5 minutes. I thought I walked in and walked back out. So I don't know what I don't told him. I can't remember what I don't told him.
So you say you don't remember telling him about what happened at?
But if he said that I told him that, I'm telling you right now, I told him that. So can you start asking me what I supposed to told Detective Thorpe? Because I'm telling you now, if he said that I said anything about anything, I'm telling you, more likely I probably did.
Great. Well, I want to ask you about all the things that you talked to Detective Thorpe about.
See, this is why the prosecutor.
Did you also
get no
tell
guys
Detective
killed.
Thorpe about the Friday before Nut was killed?
I guess.
Okay. On the Friday that Nut was killed, were you with Thug the Friday evening before Nut was killed?
No, you just said it earlier. Was I at the house? I said yes.
I'm talking about the Friday evening before Nut was killed.
I can't recall. I don't know what I done told Detective Thorpe.
I'm asking you, what do you remember yourself?
No, when I think back about 2015, all I remember was getting a call saying that Nut was killed and I was responsible for it. And the only thing besides that is people showing up at my folks' houses. Details about what happened, all this stuff been blanked out my mind. Like, it been blanked out my mind.
All right. In that same January 11, 2000 interview, you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you were with Thug and you were at DJ Drama's studio.
I probably did.
Do you remember telling him or you don't recall telling him? I need to have it.
If Detective Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
And then after leaving the studio, that is when you went over to your girl's house, which would be Deshawn's house.
I guess.
Now, earlier I asked you about what time you left Deshawn's home to go to your brother's house. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you left Deshawn's home around 5:00 p.m.?
I guess.
When you say you guess, I need to know, do you recall telling him that or you don't recall telling him that?
If he said I said it, I said it.
And is that true or that not true that you left her home around 5:00?
If you notice something about me, I don't keep up with the time or the days. I just go with the flow.
So do you remember it being around 5:00 p.m. that you left Deshawn's house?
I don't know what time I left her house.
When you went to Mechanicsville, do you remember seeing anyone in Mechanicsville?
What you mean?
You said earlier that on the night before Nutt's murder, on the day of, you left Deshaun's house and you went to Mechanicsville. Do you remember seeing anyone when you went to Mechanicsville?
I don't remember if I seen anyone.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you went to the green store?
I guess.
I need to know, do you remember telling him or you don't remember telling him? Or was that a lie?
Basis.
He's allowed to answer, make you force him to answer in the binary one or two ways.
Your Honor, his response are non-responsive to my question.
I'm going to overrule your objection, sir. Thank you.
So do you remember telling him, you don't remember telling him
Do I remember telling him what?
that you went to the green store?
I probably did.
When you say you probably, I didn't know yes, no, or I don't recall.
Whatever Thorpe said I told him, I told him.
Okay. Do you remember telling him that you met with Little Rick at the green store?
I probably did.
Yes, no, I don't recall.
You want me to?
Yes, sir, you may.
Yes, no, I don't recall.
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that while you were at the green store, you called Little D?
I guess.
Did you tell him? Did you not tell him, or you don't recall telling him that?
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you recall telling him that he told you he was on Cleveland Avenue?
I guess.
Yes, no, or I don't recall.
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Now, when you got to Cleveland Avenue earlier today, you said that Little D and
He didn't test him. Improperly asked a question.
you're right.
I think she's oriented to time and place. I'm going to overrule your objection, sir.
Earlier today, you said that Little D and Shannon got into your vehicle. Do you recall saying that earlier today?
I think I did.
Okay. Back in January of 2015, did you ever tell Detective Thorpe? Your Honor, now I'm impeaching.
I'll
There's no impeachment when you don't ask the original foundation.
overrule the question, sir.
Did you ever tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the vehicle with you and Little D back on the morning of January 10th, 2015?
If he said I did, I did.
I'm asking you, did you? Because you're saying you're saying today, you're saying the truth, and back then,
To the commentary.
I sustain the objection.
did you ever tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the vehicle with you?
I guess.
What do you love about being outdoors? Lighting the barbecue? Hitting the trail with a few friends?
Back in 2015, you did not tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the car with you.
Objection asked and answered.
I sustain the question.
In 2015, did you tell Detective Thorpe that only Little D got into the car with you?
I guess.
Did you say that to Detective Thorpe?
If he said I did.
Back in 2015, did you then tell Detective Thorpe that Little D told you that Nut just got killed?
Basis, sir.
You're safe.
Your Honor, do we address this?
I'm going to overrule the objection, sir.
Confrontation clause as well.
Your Honor,
Overrule, sir.
today you said that you and Little D never talked about the murder, correct?
Today I said whatever I told Thorpe in 2015, I was trying to get him out my face. So I do not know exactly what I have told him.
Today, do you have an independent memory of what happened on January 10th, 2015?
What you mean?
Do you have a memory outside of what you told Detective Thorpe about what happened on January 10th, 2015?
Basis, sir. I did tell me the basis for your objection. I'm gonna overrule the objection, sir.
I'm going to object as to the answer, Your Honor.
Overrule, sir.
Wait.
So today, do you have an independent knowledge of what happened on January 10th when you picked up Little D?
Can you say that one more time?
Sure. Today, without remembering what you told Detective Thorpe, what is your memory of your interaction with Little D on January 10th, 2015?
But I don't have a memory. What you mean? Like,
Okay.
I just know that I picked up Lil D and Shannon, and that's when I got the call saying that I supposed to did this and did that.
And in January 2015, you never told Detective Thorpe that you picked up Little D and Shannon.
I guess.
Earlier, I asked you if Moonsul FaceTimed you. And did you say you did not recall if Moonsul FaceTimed you?
I know he called me. I don't know if it was FaceTime regular. All I know was I remember what came out of his mouth.
And in 2015, in January of 2015, you told Detective Thorpe that he FaceTimed you.
I guess.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that or no?
Objection as to the answer.
Yeah, that's non-responsive. I guess it's non-responsive.
I'm gonna overrule your objection, sir. You can answer the question, sir.
I need to know if you remember or if you do not remember.
If he said I said it, then I said it.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that?
Objection, Your Honor, to the answer.
Overrule,
But-
sir.
That's not. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that he FaceTimed you?
I guess.
I guess it's non-responsive.
Your Honor,
Well,
I object to the commentary.
It's not responsive, Mr. Steele. I'm gonna overrule your objection.
Do you recall?
I don't know what I told Detective. I don't remember what I told Detective. Whatever his name is.
Thank you. So you don't remember if you told Detective Thorpe that?
I sustain his request, Mr. Forman.
Now, do you remember back in January 2015 giving Detective Thorpe Moontoon's phone number?
I guess.
I guess it's non-responsive.
Overrule, sir.
I need you to respond. Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember nothing I told Detective Thorpe.
All right.
So that's my response to every question you about to ask me. If it have anything to do with me speaking with him. It wasn't in my right state of mind. I don't have a clue.
Well, you're going to bear because I'm going to have to ask you the question specifically. You just
Okay,
say I
you can
don't
ask.
remember.
I just said.
Prosecutor, is it not?
Mr. Steele, overruled.
Do you remember today what Moontoon's number was back then?
Back then when?
Back in 2015.
No, I better know my phone number now.
All right. Do you remember giving him the number 404-662-8935?
I guess.
I need to know, do you remember or you do not remember?
Yeah, I did. I
Do you remember what kind of car that Moontoon dropped you off in to take you to the police department on January 11, 2015?
I don't know. I don't know if he asked me. I don't remember what I told him.
Okay. Do you remember saying it was either bluish, grayish Malibu and it was rented?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember telling him that?
Yes, I guess. Yes.
Earlier today, you said that you went down there because the police called you. Do you remember saying that?
Overruled, sir.
Do you remember saying that earlier today?
That's the only way I went down there.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, I was asking everybody, should I go down there, bro? Because I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You can look at my phone records, but I didn't do it.
Yes.
All right. Yes, you remember telling him that?
If he said I said it, yes, I said it.
I need to know if you remember telling him that.
Yes. I don't know why there's further questions.
I'm gonna overrule the objection, Mr. Sharp.
Do you also recall telling Detective Thorpe that you also advised Munson that he should come down and speak with the police?
Yes.
What's your credit card debt balance? If it's $10,000 or more, here are 3 easy solutions you can start.
Okay, y'all, it's obvious he's going to continuously be evasive, and it's just because, I mean, if they questioned him like back in 2015 and stuff, that means he had been telling. He had been talking to the police for a long time. You know, hey, he's saying that they shot at him and all of that. So with him feeling like that they already had issues with him, he felt free. He didn't have no issues with he didn't have no issues with telling the judge anything. I mean, telling the police anything. Hold on, I'm trying to see, because he was arrested in court. Woody was arrested in court the other day. Hey, Legacy 360.
You state your first and last name.
So this is the other day when Woody was. They said they arrested him in court.
Kenneth Copeland.
Mr. Copeland, do me a favor, pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone and speak directly into it so we can all hear you. So if you could state and spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Spell it, please.
KENNETHCOPELAND.
Thank you, sir. All right.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am,
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please?
All right, sir.
Why he didn't want to tell his age? Look at Thug back there. I want to see how they looking.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
He thought he was He thought he was getting ready to leave and go home. He said, take him into custody. Lord have mercy. So he's not going to plead the fifth anymore. He's just going to play games. They are saying that secret meeting was with Woody Judge and the DA. Yeah, the judge stopped that real quick. He wasn't going to give him the opportunity to play games, period, with that. Talking about pleading the fifth. So now he's just evasive on questions and answers, or on answers. He's not going to answer anything directly. They probably already came to Woody's house. I'm pretty sure, because he's nervous. I guess he's been cooperating with the police since around 2015. Yep. So I guess Thugger is not going to get on the stand. I mean, that would be suicide for him to actually get on the stand. Anyways, y'all, Woody is, I don't know. I don't know. I guess most street dudes would say that they don't feel sorry for Woody, but I guess me as a woman and being a little sensitive, I can see the stress. I could see the stress. I do believe that they have been threatening him, and he's stressed out. So what he needs to do is go ahead and do the time. What they was going to give him 2 years, why wouldn't he just go on and do the 2 years? But he knows the type of stuff that Thugger and them have done when people in jail. He's not going to be safe in jail. Yeah, Thug did everything that they say he did. Let me just say this, okay? I don't want. I hope. Okay, should I say it? I have to ask myself sometimes. Should I say it? Thugger. I believe Thugger did everything that they said he did. You know, you have to think about somebody like Thugger, who does not have issues with wearing dresses and acting like a woman and calling men my love and stuff like that. You know, you don't ever know what kind of trauma that Thugger has been through. Okay, to sit up and call himself a thug, but he's wearing high heel shoes and pink dresses and kissing men all in the mouth and all of that. So I'm sure in order to be taken seriously, because behind his back, you know, people, you know, looking at him as a joke. Okay. He probably was as vicious as he could be to try and prove to somebody that he was just as hard, except for he wasn't doing nothing but calling hits. You know, he was calling the hits. He wasn't actually out there doing them. So I'm sure he was trying to be as vicious as he could be to be taken seriously, because any man that walk around with pink dresses and stuff on is a wearing lipstick is a damn joke. He's just going through the motion. Thugger lawyer saying that he always being followed by the DA investigators. Who's always being followed by the DA investigators? Woody. I bet it's not the DA investigators that's following him. G. Finley says he shot at that man's mom, then went on Instagram and bragged about it. I'm willing to bet it's the FBI that's following him, because that's not something I take contracts from the district attorney's office. That's not something that they have you doing, following people around. You go and you question people. You try and find them. You get statements and stuff from them. You go and find witnesses and stuff like that. But as far as following him around, that's something that undercover law enforcement officers would do. I'm willing to bet that it's the FBI that's probably following him around. But I don't know though, because I was looking at a case where in Georgia where the DA's office investigator was shot at. He was at a gas station. They shot at him. I always felt like that was weird. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've never had any issues with people wanting to shoot at me or whatever. If they want to give a statement, and I don't have no issues with getting statements. I don't really like dealing with criminal cases because they're very tedious, and I got some of them folks coming there, they real funny, it's funny, but with how they are, but I've never had any issues with that because I don't want nothing nobody won't give me. I ain't gonna beg or nothing. So I find it weird, to be talking about surveillances. I'm willing to bet those are undercover law enforcement officers, probably still the FBI or some kind of task force with APD. So who knows though? Fed's gonna pick this case up. It's more to this case. Birdman had Thugger shoot up Lil Wayne's bus. I wonder if that's going to come out. I wonder if that's going to ever come out. Well, it already has. So I'm talking about, have they already said something about it in court? Hmm. Oh, wow. Oh. Mm. Anyways, I don't know. For some reason, I believe Woody was bad. So, what was Woody's position? Was he a hitman for YSL? Because, see, I think that's kind of like the issues that you hear some people have, like that are out in the street. They have issues when somebody has been a part of an organization and they were just as bad. And so they go and tell on somebody else to try to get themselves out of it. Is that so he was a YSL shooter, so maybe that's why people have issues with him then. If you were a shooter, you were out there doing just as bad, right? I mean, y'all know how I am. Like I'm pro law enforcement as it relates to getting killers and stuff off of the street. I don't be wanting to see folks lose their lives. I be wanting to see justice, right? So that's just how I am. I've never hid that. I don't agree with law enforcement hurting innocent people, anything like that, right? But as far as like Woody, I think people have issues. I'm talking about people in the street because I'm not in the street. I think people have issues with when you are been a shooter yourself and you are out there doing just as much, and then you tell on everybody else to try because you don't want to go do no time. But it seems like to me, just from looking at this just a little bit, maybe Woody told on them because they had, it looks like to me, according to what he was saying, they had turned on him. He felt like they was trying to kill him. That's why he told on them. Do y'all think that's what it is? At some point, for some reason, they want to try to take him out. They switched up on him. And that's probably why he told on them. He not all there. Now, he's not all there, but I'm going to tell you, he ain't scary. Because when he said they pulled up on him, he got out and stood out in the middle of the street. When they pulled up to try to shoot him, and he shot and he kept shooting, he did what most, well, I mean, Woody a little crazy too, but he did what most men should do. It looked like to me he wanted to try to, protect his baby and his baby's mother. Because most men, some of these men go and they hide up under the baby mama. Let me hide behind you, baby mama. They might not shoot you, So that's what's going on now. So I'm not mad at him for trying to protect his family, but hey, I don't know. I think maybe that's what some people in the street have issues with, when somebody has been just as guilty as them, and then they tell. I don't know. I'm conflicted about that. I guess. I guess. I don't know. I think I have. I'm gonna tell you what I have issues with. I have issues with when, like, somebody does something that's heinous. Okay, like they do something to a child or something like that. They do something that's real bad. And so then what they do is they'll know that somebody else is hot. Let's just say it's a guy that's pushing a whole lot of weight. And I don't promote drug selling because it's wrong. Don't sell drugs. Say no to them too. Okay. Most people's doing more than what they're selling. Okay. That's why their brains and stuff is fried. But I have issues when people say, well, listen, I know I did this and that. But I know a dude that's, he got a whole lot of weight coming into the city. And then they start working with police to take that person down, and they cut him a deal. That makes me mad, because even though it's wrong, this guy got all this weight and stuff coming in. He ain't out there raping kids. He ain't breaking into folks' houses. He ain't abducting women or anything like this. And they working with this bitch who way worse. I have issues with people that's standing out on the corner selling weed and stuff getting 30 years, and a nigga like that getting 5 or less. I be having issues with that, because they be wanting to give these boys 30 years because they talking about they selling drugs and stuff like that, but you ain't never heard nothing about them violating no women or children or anything like that. Some of them might even be respectful. Okay. But they mind their own business, they make their money. They're not out there terrorizing their community. And I know people may say, well, I don't think you should say that, because when they're selling drugs, that is terrorizing their community. Yeah, that could be a way of looking at it. Okay, I'm not trying to negate the fact that it is wrong. Okay, but what I'm saying is a lot of these folks out here committing heinous crimes and making deals when they should be the ones doing 30 years. I've always had issues with that. You give a drug dealer 30 years and you give a person that has set up and violated a baby 30 days, and we let them get away with that? I have issues with stuff like that. So now this man who, just because he making a whole lot of money, he making a lot of money. That was his only crime, selling the weed and stuff. That's wrong. Y'all don't sell weed. Okay, don't sell it. I'm not promoting selling drugs, but what I'm saying is, yes, it's way I feel like a person that violates women and children and tearing up, burglarizing and breaking up into the houses. Y'all do know they break up into the houses, and I remember they broke up into this one lady house, and it has happened several times in the Memphis area. The lady was 90 years old. Some 20-year-old boys broke up into her house and burglarized her house. And don't y'all know that they raped that lady? A 90-year-old woman. And they was able to go back to their communities. See, I have issues with stuff like that. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say, what is going on with the OGs? Are there a bunch of damn sissies now? Some of them, not all of them, because there's some OGs I respect. I be liking them real OGs, okay? Because I grew up around guys like the real solid ones. But he ain't supposed to be able to come back to his neighborhood after doing something like that. At what point these young boys think they can break up into a house and violate a 90-year-old woman? Ain't no threat to you, period. If you break up into a house, you're wrong. But even in breaking up into her house, she ain't a threat. You damn freaks. And they able to go back to their neighborhood and there not be no repercussions. I have issues with that. Because see, the dudes in their neighborhood is supposed to handle them. Folks always hollering about, I hear black men, we don't need the police. We police our own community. You motherfuckers ain't doing shit. Y'all sitting up enabling these damn little young sissies that's out here committing all these crimes. You're actually perpetuating a lot of it instead of dealing with them. Okay, talking about, well, there are laws in place. It ain't no laws in place because these niggas running amok. And you get mad because the police have to handle them? The damn OGs I grew up around didn't tolerate stuff like that. And I grew up in the heart of South Memphis. You ain't gonna go and break up in no 90-year-old woman house and violate her and then beat her almost to death and think you gonna come and stand back up on the corner because your ass is gonna go missing. Okay? I have issues with stuff like that. I remember when I was working at MPD, when I was working in felony response, sex crimes only came in. They had weekends off. I don't know how it is now, but they didn't. So when they left it, they worked from 8 to 4. So when I saw 3 girls, a boy, a teenage boy, 3 teenage girls, and their mother. And I was like, dog, I saw the sex crimes investigator. I said, dog, the girl who was a clerk in sex crimes was working overtime in my office. I said, what's going on around there? Why are sex crimes here so late? Because when it was stuff like that, they had to come back in. And she was like, girl, let me tell you what happened. She said it was a dude broke up into their house. And I believe it might have been around the Binghamton area, something like that. I can't really remember what area. I just know it was in Memphis. And she said, girl, dude broke up into their house looking for some drugs. The older brother was selling drugs, right? I never forgot this. And she said, girl, let me tell you what happened. I said, the teenage boy looked frantic. He had his hand, he was standing by the elevator. His sister's hair and stuff was all over their head and stuff. They were teenage girls. He was 15 years old. Okay, the mother was still wiping tears. Okay, they had to come up there and get interrogated, but he had his hand on his head like he had been hit by a car. She said, girl, let me tell you what happened. She said, a nigga broke up into the house this morning. Okay. And he decided, he saw them young girls there and he raped all 3 of them. Now the mama in there and he wanted to rape all 3 of the young girls. She said, and then girl, this is what he did. She said, that young boy looking like that. Cause then he turned around and made the teenage boy have sex with his sister and his mama while he held a black nigga while he held the gun to his head. See, it's a lot of stuff. When people sit up and say, well, you just work down there with them police, you just pro-police, you a black girl. Nigga, I've seen stuff that don't make the news. I don't have no empathy for these motherfuckers that do shit like this. They ought to be dead. They never should have been born. So when you hear me say a lot of these folks ought to be dead, and I know when men have it in them to violate, it makes my blood boil. So when you hear me say on here, because I done seen too much, these niggas that violate, and I start looking at their backgrounds and I start reporting them to the police, it ain't normal for a man to be on here constantly messing with these women on YouTube. I know when they have tendencies to violate and when they sick. That's why I don't play with them. So you got people like that around the Memphis area. Not only did he violate them girls, but he made the boy have sex with his sister and his mama. That boy will always be traumatized. And that was almost 20 years ago. So when you hear me on here and I say, well, listen, I'm not studying it. I need to know what he did. What is his background? Well, you ain't empathetic. I don't know what he did. Because some of these folks ought to be beat with an ugly stick and then thrown in the damn river. Okay? And so that's the type of stuff that I have issues with. You give a drug dealer 30 years because he making money. He driving nice cars. Okay? But you'll let a nigga like that get out in 2-3 years? I have issues with that. And so instead of us fighting with each other, that's the type of stuff we need to be fighting against. A drug dealer you ain't never heard to be in the midst of none other than getting his money. And I'm going to tell y'all something. The people that be telling on the police don't just target folks for nothing. If they target them as it relates to them drugs, because I worked in Crime Stoppers for many years. They target them because somebody in their camp then got jealous of them and told on them. And so the bigger they get in selling drugs, the more the government comes after them. And that's because can't nobody be bigger than the government in pushing drugs. I mean, when you start thinking you're going to make more money than the government pushing weight, you got to go to jail. I told y'all about what happened with Bill Clinton's brother. The reason they created that 3 strikes bill, that crime bill, because his brother was the biggest drug dealer in Arkansas. He was pushing weight everywhere, and Bill Clinton and Hillary was too. And so Bill Clinton and them had to come up with a crime bill to get all of these young black boys that was giving him a run for his money, all of his competition, in jail. And that's what they did. And they still in jail, unfortunately. While they let the hardcore criminals that do stuff like just what I said that's been done, that they've been doing. The guy broke up into the house and made the young boy have sex with his mama and his sisters. And and then more heinous stuff has happened. I worked for the police department for 18 years. Can y'all imagine all the stuff that I saw? That's why I don't have no tolerance for none of these niggas when it seems like they on some violating sexual type stuff. Bitch, I'm gonna file a FBI report on you, a police report on you, and I'm gonna keep filing until they forced to do something. They start watching you. Okay, y'all motherfuckers think I worked for the police department for 18 years and not know what to do? And it ain't gonna be no false stuff that's got y'all up under investigation. You can't file fake reports on folks. I almost said the name of the person that had them folks doing it, and not think that it has not turned on you. That's why when I hear when people say to me, "You want me to do this?" No. If we don't know anything, if we don't know if that's true, we're not gonna file. I don't want y'all filing no fake FBI reports and stuff, because I don't want. Because what happens is when you do that, they start watching you too. You can't file fake FBI reports because you'll get yourself put up under investigation. So when I think about Woody, you know, I'm not saying what Woody. Hey, Woody. The only issue I got is Woody did that. Why not stand on what you did? It's obvious he did it. He did it because he felt like they was trying to take him out, and they was trying to take him out. Of course, I'm sure now he wants to protect this woman and his child. Okay, Woody, it seems like a person. His eyes so red. I'm sure they've been calling him, threatening him. He ain't gonna get in court and say it. But that's one of the reasons why people don't like working with, you know, telling certain things, because you know, they think it's going to be anonymous, and it can be anonymous if they know how to do it. Call Crime Stoppers. I worked in Crime Stoppers for 5 years or more, and we went and did payouts. Okay, I'm telling you now, they pays. And you get your tip number. Nobody ever knows who you are. Go through Crime Stoppers and get them all the information you want. Get your tip number. Go get your money every month. We paid out the money at trap houses. I'm telling you now. Because this crime got to stop. I'm telling y'all, it's got to stop. So I'm not pro-criminal. I would never be. With the type of atrocities that people are committing against other people, it's got to stop. So, I mean, as much as I love, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, so I got cousins in Memphis that's out in the street, and they've been out in the street. I can't tell y'all how many times my auntie and stuff was praying about my cousins out there. They was doing whatever. They out the street now. They got successful clubs and stuff. I ain't gonna tell y'all which ones, but if you go up in there trying to start something, they gonna kill you. I'm telling you now, because they old school. They it's gonna kill you. Okay. And but you know, out of all the stuff that they was doing, I remember we would be sitting on the porch in my auntie's house, and all of a sudden we see one of my cousins jump the gate and run across the yard. It's like, dog, even growing up, I was like, dog, I hate the police. I had no idea I would be working for the police. Like, dog, I hate the police. They chasing my cousins, and my cousins were bad then. But it was always about, it was never about violating no people. It was never about violating no people. Cypress said, "Don't snitch." No, I think people should tell. I mean, you have to tell. You cannot let hardcore criminals. So let me ask you something, Cypress. The guy that I was just telling you about, when I told you I was working for the police department, he broke into that house and he violated those teenage girls and the mother, and then turned around and made the boy have sex with his sisters and his mama while he held a gun to his head. And that boy was traumatized. He was holding his head when he got ready to get back on that elevator. That had to be the most traumatizing experience that there was. I don't even know if they ever caught the dude that did it. Hopefully he dead, okay? But do you think a man like that is supposed to be told on? I just want to hear what you got to say. Should somebody have told on him? Tell me, Cypress, should somebody have told on him? See, Cypress got quiet. He said, "Don't snitch," but I asked if somebody have told on that guy that did that to those people, and he ain't said nothing. I'm interested in knowing what the men have to say. Should somebody tell on that guy that broke in there and did that to that woman and them girls and that boy, those teenagers? Should somebody tell on him? I want to hear what the men got to say, because I know what the women are going to say. I want to hear what the men got to say. Diane said, "Tell it all." Jack said yes. That's a man. He said yes. It's funny I can't get no other men to comment. Cypress probably want street justice. It's absolutely unacceptable. Thank you for commenting. I want to hear what some of the other men got to say. Should somebody have told on that man for breaking up in there doing that to them folks? Or is it snitching? Is it wrong to tell on him? I want to hear what these men got to say. See, Cypress, nobody. See, when y'all start talking about street justice, you got to understand nobody died and made any of you all God. So it's not right to even say that. That's against the law, because what you do is you put yourself in a bad position when you do stuff like that, or being taken away from your family. You can't do that to children to make that boy have intercourse with his mom. I'm saying like Luther Vandross. That's right. I've seen worse stuff than that. And guess what? They didn't. The people didn't get facts. Why not? You will sleep better, right? I'm not mad at. No, I'm not mad at Cypress either, because anybody would want street justice too. That's true. I mean, because I would probably want some street justice too. So I ain't gonna be hard on Cypress on that. But because a person like that ought to be taken out. But it's wrong, but it's against the law to do it. I have to walk on the tightrope on what I say. But I've seen worse than that. That's why I'm not empathetic to violators, people, men that violate, or women. Because see, people get mad at police officers, and police officers have feelings too. Because I remember when I was working for the PD, and I remember a lady from the DA's office. We were sitting outside of 201 Poplar, and she said, "Why are people so evil to children? Why do they do children like that?" And so there was a case where a girl, I think I've talked about this before, where a young lady had a 6-month-old baby, and she met a dude, and he was not the baby's father, and she moved him up in her house, and went to work and left the 6-month-old baby with the boyfriend. He was a sicko. And so what he did was he called himself gonna have intercourse with the baby. And so when he tried to penetrate the baby, he tore her open. And so he went to the store when he ripped her open and got needle and thread and tried to sew her back up. The police officers tore his ass out the frame, and he went to the med before he went to the got downtown to be questioned. And I'm gonna tell you why people don't take us seriously. Because you have folks talking about, yeah, you know what he did to the baby was wrong. He still got rights. Them police said weren't supposed to put their hands on him. They whooped his ass and tore it out the frame. They really should have. It should have been a DOA, if you ask me. But people don't think logically, because to see that baby tore up like that. I got daughters. I already know that a 6-month-old baby is not even open. So now, when my head and stuff started hurting when I started thinking about some of that stuff. Now I don't have. Y'all see how mad I get on here when I know that these men on here, when they cannot leave women alone, and they have histories of constantly trying to violate women. And then we start looking into their background, and we see that they have a history of violations, even those that they think that they got expunged. Bitch, you can't expunge nothing from me. Okay, you can't. And you could contact the FBI all day. That's the reason why I got the job I got, bitch. You can't expunge nothing from me. My systems don't allow it. That's why I'm the best. Okay. So that's why I have issues. And when I be talking about these niggas on here are pedos, not everybody, and they sick, and these women following them. I don't be just saying that to be making up stuff on them. I'm telling the truth. They know I'm telling the truth. Some of these men couldn't stop harassing women if they was facing 30 years. They couldn't stop because they sick. They can't stop when you got a history of and a background of violations against women. You a pedo and a sicko. And you got women that follow them. And they got children. Underage children. I think it should be something done about that. You know, if you're going to be following, helping some of these men that are pedos on here violate and all of that, you got grandkids, bitch. It ought to be, because a lot of them old bats. Then something should happen. They shouldn't be allowed to be around their grandkids because they really are a threat to them. Anytime you can follow a pedophile, you will do anything. And let a pedophile send you out to violate, you will do anything. You are a threat to your own damn grandkids, bitch. Jack says back in the Bible days, these sickos would have got stoned. Some of them need to be lined up right now. You know, in Mississippi, they still got the firing squad. See, they be wanting to kill the wrong people. I have issues with that. You want to line a black man up under false pretenses and shoot him. Now, some of these ones I just spoke about because they was black, those are the ones that need to be lined up and shot. And it shouldn't take the state to do it. All these black men that's hollering about we need to police our own community, they supposed to be doing it. Don't say you want to do something, but then you are passive about when somebody is heinously messing with the women and the children, especially these babies. It ain't no way nobody should even feel comfortable with coming into the black community, snatching up these little girls as they walk home from school. How come the men that's hollering about we need to police our own community has not put something in place and let word got back? Because oftentimes when these little girls are snatched up, they're snatched up by people in their own community. So word should be around by now. If we ever find out about you snatching up a little girl, they're gonna find you somewhere stanking. Okay, but they ain't doing that because a lot of these men that claim that they so righteous participating in it. See, people don't, folks don't like to be called out, but I mean, it's the truth. You'd be surprised by what people do. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. That's right. They ain't got no business feeling comfortable. Over in Binghamton, that's my oldest daughter. Dad is from over in Binghamton. Over in Binghamton, they had a serial rapist for many years, and they never found who he was. But I think I found him because I remember when I was working in felony response. I remember I'll never forget. his name was Sergeant Ed Hall. He said, Tam, I'm going to need you. Because when I first started working there, I was a transcriptionist. He said, Tam, I'm going to need you to type a statement for me. I got somebody coming up here. The officers are going to bring somebody up here. He said his brother caught him, walked in on him having sex with his teenage daughter. Not his brother's daughter, but his very own daughter. I was like, oh, okay. I said, what area are they coming from? He says they were then the Binghamton area was considered it wasn't the West Precinct. Was Binghamton a part of the West Precinct? I don't think it was a part of the West Precinct. I forget what precinct it was considered. But anyways, so I sat there. I was like, dog, and when they were showing me the street, I was like, damn, my daughter's dad live on that street. So I wasn't gonna move. I was like, hell, I'm gonna sit right here. Cause I had to make sure it wasn't him. And so anyways, I sat right there. I was like, dog, he coming from the Binghamton area on the same street my daughter's dad live on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I'm back. But anyways, I was talking about, he said, I hope it's some juice on the platinum on the other. I got to get some, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get some tea for the platinum. I need to get some tonight, don't it? It's funny you said that because one of my people had called me when I was out today. So anyways, so they bring the guy up there to felony response. And so when he walked in, I looked at him, I was like, dog, you know, it wasn't my baby daddy. I never had any reasons to think he was sick though, but shit, I didn't know. Shit. But you know, that's just how my mind works. And so, anyways, when I looked at the guy, I was like, dog, this guy's so fine. He was tall and handsome and gorgeous. Like he looked like a real street dude for real. Okay. Clothes and stuff looked nice on him. All of that good stuff, y'all. So when I looked at him, I was like, dog, I wonder if his brother lying on him. So when he sat down, you know, the first thing he was saying was, you know, my motherfucking brother sitting up talking about I was in the bed effing my daughter. I got plenty of gals. I never mess with my daughter. I got other kids. Why would I be messing with my daughter? Why would I be having sex with my own daughter? I mean, he was cutting up, right? And so I was thinking to myself, this dude's so fine. I already know his brother must be hating on him or something, right? And so then, you know, Ed was very mild-mannered. It was Ed and Isabel had that case. He was very mild-mannered. They was very mild-mannered. They was listening to him cuss and deny and all of that. And then all of a sudden they just got serious and started breaking him down, right? They talked to his brother. They had his daughter to come up there. And Ed and them just started breaking him down, and then he broke down and started crying. And this dude lives in Binghamton. It messed me up so bad that I always remember his name, and I because he lived on the same street that my daughter's dad lived on. I always, throughout the years, sporadically kind of check to see, you know, what he had going on, right? And that guy still lived in the Binghamton area, and he has had some more cases for messing with some of his girlfriend's children. Okay, I'm telling you, this man is sick. Because I was reading the reports and stuff. This man is sick, and he's still over there in the Binghamton area. That's the reason why I say that they never found who the Binghamton rapist was. That man started raping women every summer, and because it was nothing but black people in Binghamton. It's starting to change now, okay, because they're doing gentrification. They never found out, but I bet it was him because he was sick. So they started breaking him down, y'all. And and when they started breaking him down, those investigators, he said, I know I was wrong. I know I was wrong for messing with my daughter, but she was acting like she was liking it. Y'all, I was completely floored. I was like, oh my God, this fine nigga is sick. He was sick. And so they questioned his brother. His brother said, he was like, I wasn't doing nothing, but I was kissing my daughter navel, and she acted like she was liking it. So y'all, he was sick, right? And so anyways, when they questioned his brother, said he actually was in the bed and they ain't have no clothes on. And so when they questioned his daughter, I'll never forget, his daughter said that when she was 10 years old, her mother was on drugs. So she was sent to live with her dad and her grandmother, which was her dad's mother, over in Binghamton. And she said when she first moved up in that house with them, her dad started messing with her. And she said that when she told her dad's mother said, shut up, your daddy ain't doing that to you, don't you ever say that again. So she said she just learned from 10 years old to just accept it, to get used to it. So she said if it was like she was engaging, it just became the norm to her to be having sex with her own father. Now, this is a street dude from out of Binghamton that was good looking and had women all over him because he was I got all kinds of kids, I got all kinds of gals and all of that. And he over there doing stuff like that, right? And so I said all that to say this is going back to, they want to give a drug dealer 30 years, but that nigga is still out. Because I pull up his history right now. and let you know that he is still out. I'm not gonna say who he is, but years later, I remember he came to my mind, okay, and I was like, let me look him up to see if he's had anything else going on. I kid you not. When I pulled him up, I pulled up a police report where he had gotten another girlfriend, and his girlfriend had a son that that was about 8 years old, that was paraplegic in a wheelchair. Okay. And so the girl's mother in the police report said that, you know, she had not heard from her daughter, so she decided to stop by her daughter's house to see her grandson. And she said when she stopped by there, now the little boy couldn't walk, but she said the little boy had to wear Pampers and stuff because he couldn't walk. 8 years old, born, couldn't walk. But she said, but he was complaining about his booty was hurting. She said, so she told him, well, I'm going to take my grandson with me. She said, because she wanted to take him with her so she could talk to him. And so she said, when she took her grandson was like, the guy, I'm not going to say his name, had been poking, when he changed his diaper, he poking him in his butt. And so she said she looked at her grandson's butt, and her grandson's butt was raw and red. So she took the child over to rape crisis, because that's what you have to do. And they went back and arrested that nigga. And guess what? They let him right back out. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. You want to go give a drug dealer 30 years, and we let them do stuff like that. And this nigga ought to be in the electric chair, but he back out to violate and still out. I looked at him. He ain't got I shouldn't talk about stuff like that, because I get myself all worked up. Tambora, I'm in Cuba. In my country, you get caught there chopping your glizzy and put it in your mouth and let you bleed out. Oh, that sure is a blessing, because that's the way it should be in the United States. And when I say drugs, I'm not talking about this fentanyl and stuff, because I can't believe that Black people even are doing fentanyl. It's just, I mean, our people are just, I don't know what's going on in our community. They get better treatment in prison than, that's why they go to jail, so that they can get their teeth and stuff fixed. I'm telling you, when they go to jail, they get top tier medical treatment. So they'll go to jail if they need them rotten teeth pulled out. They'll go into the gas station and steal some candy bars and a soda. As soon as they get in there, they talk about their teeth hurt. So they got to immediately take them to have emergency extraction. They can't see because they got diabetes, glaucoma, cataract, all that shit in their eyes. So they goes to jail. They commit crimes to go to jail so that they can send them to the eye doctor and get some glasses and go and get that cataract up out their eye. When they come out, they got 20/20 vision. Before then, their asses couldn't see a damn thing. Okay. So they go to jail so that they can do that. They teeth and stuff rotting all out their mouth. They buy them teeth. They pull them rotten ass teeth out and put some new teeth up in their head. Before they weren't taking, you couldn't get them to take their AIDS medicine. They was near death. And so what the nurse do is the nurse brings them their medicine to their cell every day, and they get them healthy and fat again. Then their asses get out and they be healthy enough to get back out and start committing all these damn crimes and atrocities in the community. So that's what they go to jail for, to get healthy, so that they can be healthy enough to commit crime all year. And don't tell me it don't happen. I watched it happen for years. They got gout in their feet and stuff. They can't even walk. Toes and stuff bad. They hurry up and get them ingrowing toenails out. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Let me see who this. Yep. I'm telling you, they have gout, glaucoma, cataract, diabetes, high blood pressure. They be on their last leg. They be near death. And then they go to jail to get healthy. Where if they had just went ahead and let them die out on the street, we wouldn't have to worry about a lot of this crime. But they get them healthy and fat. They make sure that they take their AIDS medication every day. And then they get back out and start committing all types of crimes. They be healthy for the summertime. And so they be healthy enough to break up in all kinds of houses. I got to pay $4,000 for some braces to go on my damn teeth, and they goes to jail and get braces. They get the teeth hanging out their mouth. They save them and put braces on what's left. And if they can't save them, they snatch them out and put new teeth up in their head. And I got to go pay $4,000 for me some damn braces next month. That's what happened. The gay men get their hormones. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing they're doing now, because y'all saw that story I did on what's happening in California. So what happened in California is now the gay men are complaining about the men being hard on them when they're in jail. They said we don't want to be having sex with all the men in jail. So they sending them over there to the women's facility. So in California, y'all go and look at that story I did the other day. They had to hurry up and snatch the man out the female jail. He was taking showers with the women, graping them. He graped about 3 or 4 or 5 women, just had graping them. All because he said he's a trans man. He dressed up like a woman, but when he get to the jail, he want to be messing with the women, and he was taking it. So the women complained on him graping them for a month, and guess what? They was putting him in the shower with the women. Now he a man, his wing slanging. He looking at titties. They got real titties and stuff, a vagina, and he taking it in the shower. Y'all, what is this world coming to? That's why I say we let them do that. I don't care what their preference is. If you born with a Vienna sausage, your ass ought to be in a damn man's jail. If you don't want the men getting your booty, stay out of jail. And guess what? They said they got a backup list of men waiting to go into the women's facility. I guess they all lined up to get in there and get some. Lord, stop me. Yeah, because see, stuff like that makes me real mad. Remy, look at me. Leave me alone. Let them babies be. Do you understand me? Let them be. Whenever they start whining, she come and start grabbing on my arm for me to get up and go and tend to them. She got them spoiled. She want to spoil her puppies through me. Y'all, they so cute. They so pretty. I'm selfish because I don't want to sell no more. It hurts me every time I have to sell one. I can't do it no more. I cried the last time. I can't do it no more. I ain't gonna be able to sell another one. It seemed like Remy go into a depression when I sell her babies. It just ain't right to be taking her babies away from her. Anyway, y'all, let me get off of here because I got some things I need to do. And yeah, I got some things I need to do. My friends, y'all, we're gonna finish up everything today. We're finishing up everything in my house today. I'm excited. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make them. Y'all know when my friends come over and help me. When my friends come over and help me, I cook them big meals and stuff. So today I'm gonna make them a really good grilled shrimp and chicken Alfredo pasta. I grill the shrimp, I grill the chicken strips and cut it up and put it in the pasta. And I make my Alfredo pasta from scratch. And I got a secret ingredient that I put in. I really need to put it in a jar and sell the sauce in the store. So I told y'all, my grandma always said when you feed them good, it makes them want to work longer. But they love my cooking anyways. So I'm gonna make them a good Alfredo shrimp and chicken Alfredo pasta. I'm doing keto garlic bread. I make my own garlic bread, and then I'm going to do some sangrias. So let me get off of here and get everything ready. So when they come into the house, they smell the food. Oh, they get happy. You know, when people start smelling food, good food, they start getting happy and they start working fast and all of that. He said, I make the best roux. Oh, the best roux. Oh, wow. I know. Ooh. Anyway, y'all. Ooh, see, Remy getting on my nerves. Look, she'll go over there to them puppies. And then every time she go over there to them, they start. Listen, I had one toy Yorkie. I'm going to take pictures of them and put them up. Out of all, Riley is a miniature Yorkie. Remy is a standard size Yorkie. And so the vet had told me, I said, what size are my Yorkies going to be? Because he's a miniature Yorkie and she is a regular standard Yorkie. She said, well, don't be surprised if you have some that come out the size of him. Ranger is the exact same size. Everybody be wondering about Ranger, but I am not selling Ranger. Ranger came out a miniature Yorkie. So I got one miniature Yorkie. Then everybody be wanting to buy Rainbow because she's a girl. I'm not selling Rainbow. And then I was supposed to sell Robbie today, but I'm not going to sell Robbie because when I call his name, he runs to me and stuff. He's highly intelligent. And then I can't sell Roscoe because Roscoe knows how to go and get on his pad and pee. When I put the pad down, he'll go and walk on the pad and pee. He's real quiet. Then he'll go get back in his bed and wait for me. I mean, he's just a sweet little puppy. I can't sell him. I can't sell no more of them because it hurt me to sell the other ones. They used to me now. I can't snatch them away from me because Riley had to go back. My sister, I sent Riley back home to my sister. I had Riley for a year. My sister said Riley did not eat for 3 or 4 days. He was so depressed. I was hurt when Riley left. He was not eating. She said he was going up under the bed. He was all in a depression and all of that because I was going to go back and get him. If he had not eaten anything, I was going to go back. So she's going to send me a video. She was like, Riley finally ate something because I was going to go back and get him. I know that's her puppy, but it don't need to let him die. She left him with me too long, and I'm still not happy about him being back at home. But since I'm gonna keep the rest of my Yorkies, I guess and y'all, he in heat again. So I had thought about. I was like, should I let them mate again? But then I can't have all those dogs in my house because people be wanting to buy them, but then they want to wait until they're 2 and 3 months old. Why should I sell them at 2 or 3 months old? They used to me. I was wanting to sell them when they were 6 weeks old, when I wasn't attached to them, when they was not attached to me. If I thought people was going to come and pick them up when they were 6 weeks old, I would breed her and Riley again, and then sell them. Come and pick them up at 6 weeks. I'll make them put a deposit down and come and get them at 6 weeks before I get attached to them and take them on home. But I mean, now I'm, when you get attached to them, I can't. It's not good to break them up because they be depressed. I can't do them like that. But she said Riley's little thing is sticking out and it's long and red and he ready to mate again. So I guess he want to mate with Remy. So if Remy be having 5 and 6 and 7 puppies at a time. So if I breed them again, I'm gonna start advertising it and then put down a deposit, and then you must pick your puppy up at 6 weeks. Because when they start opening their eyes and looking at me and getting used to me, you should have sent a pup with him. You should wait at least a year before the next breeding. Yeah, I guess I'll wait a year before the next breeding. I said breeding. Riley didn't want to have anything to do with the puppies, though. He ran from them. Riley wanted to be up under me or Remy all of the time. That's because I be spoiling them. Y'all see they whining now because they want to get out and come over here with me. Hey, Big Pat 870. Y'all hear them? And then Remy comes standing right in front of me for me to open up their house and let them out. Anyways, y'all, let me get off here so I can go on and cook and stuff. I'm gonna let them out. I'm gonna take them out in the backyard for a minute. Y'all should see them, y'all. When they running around the backyard, they are so bad. I told my neighbor every time I be letting them out in the backyard, my neighbor be looking, talking about, oh, they're so cute. I want one. I said to myself, you is not getting one of them. I have to watch my neighbor because I think she want to steal one. Anyways, you guys, I really enjoyed you all today, and y'all, I'm not kooky as y'all might think that I am. I'm not kooky. I be having fun on here with you all because I know with guys. One of my cousins had got on here one day. He said, so you finally, you people finally get to see you crazy. I said, I ain't crazy. I just be on there having fun. He said, no, because when you're off of there, you act the same way. Anyways, y'all, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can support the channel via Cash App or Super Thanks. I love you guys. I've enjoyed being on here with y'all. I'll talk to you later.